Hey guys, welcome to The Untidy Artist. Today I'll be showing you how to make a fabric hair flower. This is a vintage style, shabby chic hair flower that can be used in a lot of different ways. Today we'll be putting it on a hair clip. Let's grab our supplies. You'll need a strip of fabric that measures about 1.5 inches wide by 60 inches long, and I'm using unbleached muslin because I like the vintage feel that it gives the flower. You need matching thread and a needle. I'm going to use purple because you'll be able to see it better for the tutorial. Sharp scissors and some felt, my glue gun set on low and a ruler, and a clip or a headband or whatever you decide to attach your flower to. The first step is to measure your fabric. So I measure it at around 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, make a small slit at the top, and just tear it all the way down the 60 inches. Super easy. And you want to make sure that both edges are straight. The next step is to take your needle and thread and create a running stitch along the bottom of the entire 60 inches of fabric. And a running stitch is just where you take it in and out and in and out. Make sure it's knotted on the end and make sure that your thread is long enough. You want it to be around 40 inches and then doubled. And we're just creating a pretty ruffle. And once you get to the end, do a running stitch up to the corner. This will create a really pretty ruffled end of the flower. And then go ahead and gather it. Now the next step is important in creating the shape of our rose. Take your gathered fabric and lay it down on a ruler, and you'll want to smooth out the first 12 inches of your fabric so that the first 6 inches are barely gathered and the next 6 inches will gradually become more and more gathered. Now take your ruffled fabric and fold it down at the top at an angle and then gently start to roll up your flower. This is creating the center of your rose. And then take your glue gun, put a small dab of glue at the base of the flower right on the inside where the stitches are, and continue to roll it. And this will secure the middle of your fabric in place. Continue to gently roll the fabric, adding glue every few turns to secure it and making sure that the bottom part of the flower stays even. And I like to check my flower every so often by just holding it up and making sure that it's forming the way I want it to. It's really fun to see the flower take shape, and I really like the frayed edges of the fabric at the top. It gives it a very vintage feel. Continue to glue and roll your flower, and you want to make sure that the ruffles don't get twisted as you go. Once you get to the very end, before you glue the end of your flower down, take your needle and thread that should still be in your fabric and knot it off in a double knot. I wait to do this until the end because it allows me to gather my fabric more or less as I go so I can shape my flower more. So if I want it more gathered towards the end I can. If I want it less gathered I can undo it a little bit more. And then just glue down the end. And ta-da! That's it. Now we're going to add some felt to the back and a clip. So I take my fabric and I kind of just eyeball how big a circle would need to be on the back, and I cut out a square that's about that size, and then from the square I cut a circle, line it with some glue, and you want it to cover all of the stitching on the back of your flower. Press that down so that it's secure. And then give your flower a little haircut if you have any straggly pieces of string hanging off. Now cut a small strip of fabric that's about 1/4 inch wide that will cover the back of the circle. Take a dab of glue, put down your clip with the clip open, we don't want to glue it down closed, lay in your strip of fabric to tack it in, and then just put some glue on both sides of the strip to hold it into place. And you're done! You have a beautiful fabric hair flower. I used a fabric flower like this to create a hair fascinator using some tulle and some feathers. If that's something you'd like to see a tutorial of, please comment below and let me know and I can create that tutorial. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it and please subscribe. Thanks guys, see you next time.